Hey Boxica family, it's Cyrus here and welcome to another episode of the Boxica podcast. Today it's me on my own and I'm going to be answering all of these awesome questions you guys sent me. So I'm just going to get straight into it. I'm going to literally just read the question and then I'm going to answer it. Some of them will be short answers, some of them will be longer answers, and yeah, I feel like this is going to help a lot of people because if somebody has a question about something, there's usually a lot of people that have got the same question. So I feel like listening to this, going through these questions, you'll really get some good quality advice from it. So I'm not gonna name the people that have sent me these questions. I'm gonna start and just bang through them one by one. So here we go. Question number 1. I'm trying to lose fat but retain whatever muscle I have. Will BCAAs help this? So BCAA is a branched chain amino acid. Will amino acids help me maintaining muscle mass when I'm trying to lose fat? Okay, first of all, branched chain amino acids, BCAAs, I do not recommend you take. If you're eating enough protein, they're absolutely useless. So don't waste your money on taking aminos. Will they help with maintaining muscle? No. The biggest factor to maintaining muscle mass is the training that you do. So you need to have some kind of resistance training in there to help maintain the muscle. And secondly, you need to eat enough protein. And that is more than enough to help you maintain muscle without going down the amino acids route. And I will add that aminos, if taken for a long period of time, can impact the kidneys a little bit. I know firsthand of this. I used to take a lot of supplements and aminos. I had some blood tests done and I had some raised levels of whatever it was. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but in my kidneys, okay, the enzymes or whatever it was. And the dietitian advised me to lay off the supplements, particularly the aminos. So I did. I haven't had my bloods done since then, but I'm assuming it's all right. I take a minimalistic approach to what I put in my body. If it's not food, if it's a supplement, research it and look into it, and then figure out if you want to take it or not. Like stuff like magnesium, I'll take. I've taken fish oil in the past, not so much anymore. Creatine, I'm taking currently, magnesium, creatine. I'll take some turmeric now and again. That's pretty much it right now. Taking it, like I said, taking a minimalistic approach to it and just trying to get all the goodness from fresh food. Question number 2. By the way, I didn't read these like 100% before I did this. I'm just reading them and banging out the answer. I hear fitness talk about supplements and fish oil tablets and magnesium come up a lot. Why? Okay, fitness people, I guess that is. I hear the fitness people talking about supplements and fish oil tablets and magnesium. It comes up a lot. Why? Yeah, supplements is a very hot topic, and a lot of people make a lot of money from selling supplements. It's a massive industry. So yeah, a lot of supplement companies sponsor athletes and fitness people. Most fitness influencers that you see on Instagram will be sponsored by a supplement company. That's how fitness influencers make money. So a lot of people in the fitness are going to push whatever they're being sponsored by, right? Some of the time people are sponsored by good quality companies and they're pushing it and it's great. It's good for people. Sometimes they're pushing bullshit and it's harming people. Here's my advice on supplements. And there's a website called examine.com. And it's a website I've used for years. And the website's basically, they sell information, they don't sell supplements. So they read the research and they give you the honest advice based on the research that they read. It's a load of PhDs in this company just giving out research advice. And if you go on the website, without being a member, you can just type in anything in the search and you can see a load of information there. A lot of the basic information on supplements, like magnesium and fish oil and stuff, will be right there for you to check. If you want to dive into it a little bit deeper on Examine, I've registered for their supplement guidelines. So I paid for this lifetime thing where I just get this continually updated information from their supplement guides. and it's just a digital document that keeps updating when new information comes out. So if you want to dive into it a bit more, have that information for yourself, it is good. Even not being a trainer, it is good to have that. You'll have supplement guides on sleep, bone density, muscle building, fat loss, whatever. Think of something, mood, depression, energy levels. They have different supplement guides for all kinds of different things. If you want me to go on and send you some stuff that I've already got, like I'm a member, happy to do that. Just WhatsApp me or Instagram me, or just ask me in the studio, and I'll be happy to go on there, download it, and send it to you as well, whichever supplement guide you wanted to see. So that's my advice on supplements. Moving on. Question number 3. If my goal is to lose fat in the first instance, is it worth taking fat-burning tablets? Great question. No, I've taken them before, and I have used them with clients before, and there is a time and a place for them. Generally, the answer is no. You will not get that much benefit from just taking them if you're already overweight. You're going to get 99.9% of the results from eating less food. Okay. When would I advise taking fat burning tablets? If you got lean from putting in the work, and you were in it, like example, a client of mine, put in the work for a long period of time, get lean, but you have a goal for some reason. This client just happened to wanted to get leaner than I ever got, and that was down into, can't remember, 7% or something. So if you're listening, you know I'm talking about you. And then so I advised him to take a certain fat burner, and I'm talking, we're exhausting. At this point, he was doing maximum cardio. He's eating very little calories. He was working out 6 days a week. We're exhausted everything. We've got literally down to the last few weeks of a diet, or month or 6 weeks of a diet. If you want to get super lean, adding in a fat burner at that stage just to rev things up a little bit and get you to that next level, that it will come in. But if you're not at that level, don't even think about it. Okay? Eat less food, join the fight camp, learn about nutrition. That's going to get you the results. It's what you put in your mouth, not from a pill. Question number 4. For fat loss, what's better to help shed the lard? High intensity workouts or strength classes, or both? Great question. The best question so far. Both will help you. So, everyone needs to do some kind of strength training. Everyone needs to do some kind of high intensity cardio / working out. And the answer is you need to do both. The strength training is going to help you keep you strong, athletic, maintain muscle, and everyone wants to maintain muscle, trust me. Healthy, dense, strong bones. There's so many reasons why you would want to do strength training. High intensity training, cardiovascular fitness, general health and well-being, mental aspects of doing it are great. It's extremely good for you. And you're going to burn more calories doing, although that's not essentially one of the main reasons that you would do cardiovascular training. But yes, you're going to burn more calories doing a high intensity, interval training session or whatever, or boxing or sweat or something like that, than what you are going to do strength. You're going to burn less calories doing strength, but both are important. Okay. And by the way, a strength an overall. In a boxica class, you've got both aspects, right? You've got the benches side of the room and you've got the bag side of the room. So if you were just going to do the boxica studio classes, some classes I would say go in and try and do as many reps as you can, keep the weight fairly light, and just bang through the strength rounds, and then hit the bag as hard as you can and get a good general overall high intensity workout. Some workouts, if you were just training indoors, lift heavier weight, slow it down. You're going to get enough resistance training to at least maintain muscle mass from these classes. Then if you want to take it a step further, yes, obviously it's more efficient if you are going to do strength to join a strength class like we do outdoors, and it's a lot slower, focusing on the muscle, lifting more weights, more access to more different equipment that we don't have inside the studio. So the perfect combination would be mixing it up. I myself jump in and do boxer classes in the studio. I also do 2 strength training classes outdoors a week to get that full mix of training. Okay, so both are good. Question number 5. He's put, my fellow training partner, Dr. Shaw Robinson, told me eating grapefruit helps lose fat. Is this true, or is his doctorate in bullshit? He does actually have a doctorate, so he is actually a doctor. So, this is a great question. It's funny because he's called out his friend. Sorry, Sean, for just naming and shaming you there. There's a lot of myths like this around about different foods, and I'll tell you where they generally come from. Someone will come out with a pill that's like a grapefruit, for example, right? I don't think there's any grapefruit pills, but this is what people do. They say, oh, there's something in a grapefruit that helps burn fat, and they'll make grapefruit pills, and they'll make millions on selling grapefruit pills because of one study that they did that found that this one enzyme helps with burning fat. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. There's no foods that particularly do certain things. You can't eat grapefruits and burn more fat. It doesn't work like that. Okay, grapefruits are healthy and they taste great and they're full of minerals and vitamins, and they really good. Keep them in your diet if you want to do that, but don't kid yourself into thinking having more grapefruits is going to get you leaner. It doesn't quite work like that, guys. Unfortunately, it's just usually someone trying to sell something, an ebook or a tablet or something like that. Keep grapefruits in your diet, but it's not going to speed up your fat loss significantly like that. It's just not going to work. Fat loss comes about from eating less food, eating the correct quantity of food over a period of time. That's going to help you lose fat, right? Your body in a calorie deficit is not eating the required amount of energy that it needs to sustain its current body weight. So by eating less food, your body has to go to stored energy for energy, and that's the body fat, right? And it's going to use that body fat as energy, and you're going to get leaner. That's how it works. All right. Number 6. Why is sleep so important for fat loss? Oh, great question. I feel like I need to do a whole podcast on sleep, but it's everything. Even more than nutrition. Now, obviously, you need to eat in a calorie deficit if you want to lose fat, right? I mean, that's a given. It's physics. But the foundation, which you build everything on, is your rest and recovery and your sleep. So if you're not sleeping, if you're not sleeping properly, let's forget all the physiological reasons why you need to sleep, right? Everyone's smart. Everyone knows you need to sleep adequately, right? It's a part of being human. But let's just talk about the other side of it. Think about it. If you don't sleep enough, it's going to increase your cravings. You're going to be a little bit more agitated, a little bit more moody. You're not going to feel like doing X, Y, Z, whatever it is you need to do in order to move forward with your goals, right? You're just going to be moody. You're not going to feel like doing it. You are not setting yourself up, right? You're not laying the foundations to make the right choices with food. So that's what it comes down to, like I keep saying. So if you're not getting the right amount of sleep, then everything, you're just on a shaky foundation from the start, and that day, whatever day it's going to be, is not going to work right. What happens is, if you don't sleep enough, your body registers that you haven't had enough sleep. So you've been awake more hours than what you should have been. So your body registers that as, so I need to eat more food in order to make up for those hours, more hours that I've been awake, kind of like moving around and stuff. But the cravings for food far exceed the amount of energy you actually need for those other couple of hours that you're awake, right? So what happens is you end up overeating. Very common. Very, very common in people. They wonder why they're finding it hard to, stay on a diet or whatever. They're not recovering properly. Mentally, they're feeling down. A lot of the stuff comes from not sleeping adequately. And it's hard. It's hard sleeping the correct amount. I mean, you've really got to, pull back on the Netflix and whatever it is. You've really got to change your schedule. You've got to change your life a little bit and be like, okay, kids are going to go to bed this time. This time's going to be this. And then boom, by this time I need to be in bed, eyes closed, reading a book, not on your screens, trying to get decent sleep. So yeah, super important. I won't go into sleep any more than that. Just know that it is the foundation on which you can build, and have great fat loss. So make some changes there if that's something that you're lacking in. Dr. Robinson has noticed that that by having a coffee before going to bed burns more calories overnight. I presume this is because his heart is racing like a racehorse. This is not recommended, right? Oh my god. It's not recommended. Please don't do that. If you are the type of person that can drink caffeine and sleep, just because you are the type of person that can do that doesn't mean you should do it. Don't do that. You shouldn't have caffeine in the afternoon or any time before bed. It's got an 8-hour half-life. So don't drink caffeine before you sleep. And yeah, not a good idea to do that. Sleep is for rest and recovery, and caffeine is the opposite of that. All right, so you want to be in a position in your body, chemically, hormonally, physiologically, however you want to say it, to be perfect for sleep, which is the rest state, right? And caffeine is not. It's the opposite of that. So don't take caffeine before you sleep. The deeper sleep, you might sleep, right? If you have a coffee and then sleep, you might actually close your eyes and go to sleep. But are you getting the deep REM sleep that's needed for adequate recovery? No, you're not. You're going to get less of it, or none of it. So it's not good. Don't bother. Have your coffee in the morning, guys. Final one. Who's your favorite Spice Girl? It was actually Sporty Spice. Nothing to do with the fact that. Nothing to do with the fact that she was sporty. I mean, I was a kid when the Spice Girls were out, but it was the sporty one. Okay, guys. That was all from one person. Thank you very much for sending me those questions. Much appreciated. Now we're going to get into the other questions that I've got. So, here we go. And we're going to start here. Right. So, I need help staying on track long term. So one person sent me a group of questions, so I'll do it bit by bit. Okay, staying on track long term. I need help with that. Okay, everything we do in fitness, you need to have a long term mindset. Okay, everything you do in fitness, you need to have a long term mindset. So, if you're doing something right now, and you're getting some results, and you shouldn't have the mindset of like, okay, I'm going to do this for 3 months, and then I'm going to not do it. Do you know what I mean? You need to be like, okay, I'm doing this, it's great. Always have your mind on the long term, right? I'm going to do this for a year. I'm going to do this for a year and a half. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm just going to keep plugging away and being consistent, because consistency is the most important aspect of this whole fitness journey. Staying on track long term. That's where the magic is, right? And that's where you see the biggest gains and the biggest progress. It's not done in a short period of time. So, staying on track long term. Help with staying on track, well, keep your mind in the long term, and that will help you stay on track, right? If you're just dieting for 3 months and you're going crazy, staying on track is hard, because you're doing something that's really difficult and it's not sustainable over the long term. To stay on track, first of all, get your mind in the correct and get in the correct mindset, which is, I'm going to be doing this for a long period of time, and that's where the results will come. Okay, so if you have the odd slip up here and there within the long period, it's no big deal, right? Even if you've got your mindset right, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this for a year, okay, I've got to stay on track for a year, okay? If you have 365 days in a year, if you do 65 bad days, you've still had 300 good days, okay? 65 bad days, you still had 300 good days in a year. So think about it like that. Put your mind on the long term and just chip away, and that's where the results will come, and that's where it will help you stay on track, because you're looking at the long term. You're not thinking short term. Okay, with fitness, you always have to think long term. You need help with temporary weight gains on holidays, work, travel, and limited time to train. Well, temporary weight gains on holidays. Here is how I would handle that. First of all, know that you are going to gain weight when you're on holiday. It's a part of the beast. You're going on holiday, you're going to be relaxing, you're going to be eating whatever you want, and you're going to be taking time to chill both mentally and physically. So having that time, it's important that you have that time to do that, first of all, and knowing that you're going to gain weight doing it. You are going to gain weight when you travel. Done. At least admit that before you go to yourself, and don't set any unrealistic expectations while you're going on your holiday. No, you're going to rest and recover. You need that. So have that. Gain some weight while you're doing it. If you're consistent over the long term, small weight gains when you travel is not a big deal. If you're lazy, generally, and you don't put the work in and you're not consistent, and then you go on holiday and you gain more weight, then that's a different thing, right? But so when you travel, you can say to yourself, right, I'm going to gain 2 to 4 kilos, and I'm going to be okay with that, and I'm going to and just going to enjoy it. Having said that, though, we don't want to go on holiday and just get fat, right? If you're going for a 2-3 week trip and you don't train for 3 weeks and you eat like crazy every day, you're going to gain a significant amount of weight, and it's going to take you a long time to get that off, and you're going to not feel good about yourself, and it's going to be unhealthy. So don't recommend that. Ways to minimize the fat gain during your trip is this. Number 1, get your steps done. Do a larger amount of steps in the day when you travel. That's going to help you stay leaner when you travel. Okay? If you do 10,000 steps a day when you're in Dubai, like a normal day, do 15,000 steps when you travel. You do it and you won't even notice you're doing it, right? It's not effort. It's just walking around, enjoying the scenery, walking on the beach, whatever it is, having fun, clearing your mind, and getting steps done, right? So you're moving a little bit more. Number 2, make sure you train. I'd highly recommend taking a deload week when you travel. Don't train as much as you normally would. Let your body, like I said, you go in there to rest, right? So let your body rest. But you probably still want to train at least 3 days a week. Maybe not at the same intensity as you would normally, but you definitely still want to get your exercise done at a lower intensity. So that's something you can do. And here's the biggest advice for not gaining ridiculous amount of weight when you travel. I always look at the day and think to myself, right, now I know me personally, right? So I know when I travel, I'm going to eat more food in the evening. I'm not really too bothered about breakfast and lunch. That's me personally. So here's my mindset. I wake up in the morning, try and do some kind of exercise, some kind of movement, go for breakfast. I'm not going like all in on breakfast, trying to eat as much as I can. I'm just having a nice, healthy breakfast that's going to keep me full for a maximum amount of time. Okay, so I'll typically have some eggs, some fruit, maybe. I like to do a high-fat, high-protein breakfast. I know fat and protein is not in the fruit, but I do like to have a little bit of fruit for breakfast. But, some eggs, typical example, maybe some salmon, sausages, stuff like that. High protein, high fat, but most importantly, not too much food. Just enough to fill me up and to keep me full for the morning, but nothing too crazy. Okay, so let's say I have 500 calories for breakfast, including a snack mid-morning, 500 calories, right? Then I go for lunch. I have another 500 calories, mid to later afternoon, 1, 2, 3 o'clock. Nice big salad, let's say, for example, big portion of lean protein, lots of veggies, maybe a little bit of rice or something with that, and I have another 500 calories. So there's 1,000 calories, right? If my calories for the day is 2,500 calories, I've had 1,000. I'm going into the evening with 1,500 calories to eat. I mean, unless you're going to go silly, you can easily eat 1,500 calories, but on a generally, 5 out of the 7 days, I'm going to eat within that 1,500 calories when I'm traveling, right? Going to even go to a restaurant, and the restaurant meal in the evening for me is going to be where I enjoy myself, right? I'm going to order what I want on the menu, and I might have a dessert or something with it and just really enjoy that meal. Okay, so I'm saving my calories for that. If breakfast is your thing when you travel, you're like, wow, breakfast is like the best meal of the day. Go nuts for breakfast, and then have a smaller lunch and a little small dinner before you sleep, and then there you go, you're done. You can't have all of them. You can't wake up, go nuts for breakfast, have an amazing, crazy lunch, and then go out and have alcohol and desserts and meals. And that's just going stupid, right? Be smart. Have your cake and eat it, but not at every meal. Okay, so that's the main aspect of me maintaining. It allows you to be completely free in the evening and order whatever I want and have whatever I want, but it's being sensible about it as well. That's how I would do it on holidays. Right? Pick the meal that you want to splurge on, and the rest of it be semi-sensible. Make sure you train, and make sure you get more steps done, and be active. Next question. Limited time to train. I have limited time to train, or work travels. How do we get it done then? So my advice for when you're traveling for work and you have a busy day, try and get your training done first thing in the morning. If you know you've got a busy day, meetings and whatever, first of all, if you get your training done first thing in the morning, it's going to set you up mentally and physically for the rest of the day. You're going to feel great. You're going to be in a better headspace to attack the day and get better work done. Second of all, you're getting it done in the morning, so you don't have to worry about motivating yourself later on in the evening when you're super tired from that long day of work. Go back to the gym, got to motivate myself to work out. That is hard. Get it done in the morning. Wake up, boom, get it done, go to work. I know it's tough getting up in the morning and doing it, especially when you've got a super long day ahead, but it's the best way to do it. You don't have to train every single day when you're working, right? Some days you can just work, and also you have to keep on top of your health and your fitness as well, so you do have to get it done. The next question links into this: limited time to train. You can get a good workout done and sweat and get a decent in 15 minutes. 15 minutes, if you go 3, 2, 1, go, and you do a lot of work in 15 minutes, wow, you'll be dying. You'll be done. It's like 5 rounds of the boxing classes without any rest. Imagine doing 5 rounds without the break in between, just going, bags, benches, bags. I mean, you'd just be dead, right? So fitting in more work in a shorter period of time with less rest is a great way of just getting work done in a short period of time. In 30 minutes, you can get a full body workout and be absolutely done, and you won't need anything else for that day. If you don't rest and you set it up, here's how I would do a 30-minute workout. Go into a gym, I would pick 5 exercises and I would bang through them. Example, this is just an example off the top of my head. Go in the gym, 5 exercises, half an hour. Bench press, squats, pull-ups, burpees, and bike. Imagine if you did 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and you went as fast as you could for half an hour, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 around all those exercises. You would be dying at the end of it. You'd be done. You'd full body, 30 minutes, done, off you go to work. So any amount of time training, if you're really desperate, you can get on the floor and you can bang out burpees for 10 minutes and just be, again, great workout, full body. You're going to be tired and sweating at the end of it. 10 minutes of burpees, and then off you go with your day. Okay, so there's really no excuses for not training, but just making the best of what you've got and the time that you've got. Alrighty, next question. Okay, so I don't see results quickly enough. Can you give me some advice on that, please? So this ties into another one as well. You don't see results quick enough, so you feel a little bit down. You're getting frustrated with it. So here's how you need to look at that situation. If you're looking to get results, you need to measure your results. So Start today, measure your body weight, get a tape measure out, take some photos, whatever it is you want to achieve. Let's say fat loss, for example. That's a very common thing that people want to achieve. In 2 weeks, work at what you're doing, like set a plan, work the plan. In 2 weeks' time, measure yourself again. Same time, same day, measure yourself. In 2 weeks, if you have not made progress, it means that what you've just done is not working for you. Therefore, that's not, you shouldn't feel bad about that. You shouldn't feel like, oh my God, 2 weeks, didn't make any progress. No, that's a good thing. You've just figured out what doesn't work. And you've just figured out that, okay, I need to change something. Let's change it and move forward and figure out if this next phase is going to work for me, right? So, using the example of fat loss, common. So common. Do it for 2 weeks, didn't see any change. 99.9% of the time, you're eating too much food. You're not controlling your calorie intake, either on the weekends or whatever it is. It's sneaking in there somewhere, right? You're eating it and you're not losing the fat. So, make a plan to change that for the next week. Eat 200 calories a day less. Go for another 2 weeks. Find out if you've done what's required in order to do that. If you do the necessary things that are required to lose weight, you will lose weight. Admittedly, it's a lot harder for some people. Some people have issues. You can't get away from that. However, most people don't have these issues and they can make significant progress in a 2 week period. If you have got any underlying health issues or whatever, thyroid problems, it might take a little bit longer, but you can still make progress, right? You can still measure your progress and be like, okay, I'm moving forward. Great. So here's another one. Think about it like this. Maybe you're setting goals for yourself, but at this moment in time, you shouldn't be setting these goals for yourself, right? So if you're really busy in work or whatever it is you're doing outside of the gym, the fitness and your health, maybe it's not the right time for you to be focusing on losing X, Y, and Z right now. Maybe it's just, hey, for the next 3 months, I'm going to maintain my fitness. I'm happy doing that. I'll just maintain. I'll, stay fit and healthy and keep training consistently, but I'm not going to look at making any significant progress in this aspect of my life right now because I'm busy with all this other stuff. Then you get all that other stuff cleared, and then you're like, right, now it's the time for me to really focus and start getting results and put in the time, the money, and the energy into changing my body, because it takes time, right? It takes focus. You have to take your focus off other things onto this and be like, right, this is where I'm going to make massive progress now, and that's cool. So it's about timing as well. You can still, I'm always a long-term, I always think long-term, so for me it's more about chipping away over the long term rather than making any massive progress in a short period of time. Some people can definitely benefit from having a massive amount of progress in a short period of time because they need it. A little bit later on, you can start thinking more about the long term. And that, honestly, that's where the magic happens. And imagine, if you stay consistent for a whole year, how much you can change your body. Wow. You can completely change your body. How much can you change your body in a month? Not that much. So, set a long-term mindset. Measure the progress. If what you're doing is not working for you, change what you're doing. It's not a reason to be down. Oh, I didn't lose weight. This is not good. Whatever. No, you've just realized something. You've just tested it. Look at it objectively. Okay, I'm going to change it. Switch things up. Let's do another 2 weeks and keep progressing forward. But like I said, realize that maybe it's not the time for you to be doing this right now. Maybe you have to focus on something else, maintain for a bit, and then really start putting the energy into focusing on progressing later. All right, so just something to think about. What's your opinion on amino acids during training? I think I've answered that question earlier. Don't take amino acids. Just make sure you're eating enough protein and don't waste your money. Here we go. Another question. I struggle with the mental aspect. Often feel like I've failed if I eat beyond my calories. Okay, this is a tough one, and I've purposely saved these type of questions for the end of this podcast. I feel like a little bit of a hypocrite almost. Not hypocrite, I mean everything that I've speak about on the podcast I've gone through myself. I've never been massively overweight, but I have been significantly heavier and fatter than what I am now. So I have experienced not feeling good about my body. I'm not saying that's a good thing. It's not a good thing. But it happens. Yeah, you don't look good. You don't feel good. It has a negative spin hormonally on everything, and you just kind of like go down into the dumps, and you don't feel good. Whether it's good or bad or whatever, right or wrong, it is fact, right? We don't feel good when we're out of shape. So, if you keep it, like, again, going back to the long-term thing, if you keep a long-term mindset, I said this earlier, if you have 65 bad days in a year and you overeat your calories, 65 days in a year, you still got 300 good days, right? So you shouldn't feel bad. If you feel like eating something, eat it. If you want to go over your calories here and there, go over your calories. It's not a real bad thing. It's just a drop in the ocean if you keep a long-term mindset. It's a lifestyle, right? Again, I've said this so many times on the podcast. If you live a fit and healthy lifestyle, you will look fit and healthy, right? Feeling bad because you overate your calories a day or so here and there is not a good thing to do. You shouldn't feel bad for enjoying food and do you know what I mean? It sounds crazy when you say it like that, right? So don't feel bad about eating food. Don't feel bad about overeating. It's going to happen. I'll overeat sometime, like a lot, like at least once a week. I'll have a day which is like higher calories than what it's supposed to be, than what I planned. But it happens. And the best thing you can do is just plan the days a little bit better. You know, like I said about the holiday thing, have small breakfast and lunch so you have more calories in the evening. Typically that's when people will overeat. It's in the evening. So know that you're going to do that and save more calories for the evening. But at the same time, now and again, if you are going to overeat, do it, enjoy it, don't feel bad about it. Okay? And, you know, the next few questions are all on the same kind of thing. You know, mental health and weight loss, not getting results fast enough, you know, feeling bad and down and this kind of thing. And like I said, you know, I've been there before as well. I have, you know, I'm not the type of person that stays in shape naturally without training or eating on point. So I do struggle with it as well. Sometimes I overeat. Sometimes in the past I've gained, you know, a lot of weight. At one point I was almost at 90 kilos and I was carrying probably close to 20% body fat. Don't really look like a trainer at that level of body fat. And yeah, some people have a lot more body fat than that. Some people have a lot less. I mean, it doesn't really matter. If you just take a step back, look at the long term, look at making small steps, weekly, monthly, over a long period of time. In a year, you'll do a lot of damage. Damage is in. You'll progress a lot, and you'll look and feel completely different. Okay, the mental health. I'm not a mental health expert. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist, and it's not really an area of expertise that I can talk about. But you shouldn't feel bad, although we've all been there. We've all felt bad for when we gain weight. But you shouldn't feel bad for that. You should feel internally. You need to have peace and happiness. But it's not saying you're going to be like sitting on your ass, being fat and being lazy. No, but you need to be happy within yourself, and then be like, okay, I do need to make progress on this. I want to move forward, right? That's what we're about, always making progress with different things in life, right? So, okay, here's where I am. Be okay with that. Be content with that, but then look at progressing forward with your body and your goals. And again, a lot of the time where I see people messing up, a lot of the time, is when they put unrealistic expectations on themselves in the short term. That's where I see the problems happening. You expect XYZ to happen in a 2-week period. XYZ doesn't happen in a 2-week period. You feel bad, eat more food, go back to square one or -5, and then start the whole process all over again. If you have a realistic expectation, look, this is something that I heard a while ago from a famous coach, that it takes 18 months for your body to realize a new body fat set point. Okay, so if you reach a body fat percentage that's something new for you, example, if you're 30% body fat and you want to be 20% body fat, in order for your body, your hormones, your homeostasis, your body fat set point to become comfortable at that new body fat level from 30 to 20, it takes 18 months. So why are you going to have this short 2, 3, 4 week or even month goal? Yes, have a short-term goal, that's important, but don't neglect the long-term. Think about the long-term, and that's going to put everything into perspective for you. You can have a bad day here and there. You don't need to feel bad about it. It's just a drop in the ocean. It's, like I said, 65 days out of in a year, you've still got 300 good days, so you're still going to make a lot of progress with that. You're not going to be perfect every day. Try and put things into perspective, and always, always, always think about the long term. I do believe that will help with the mental aspect of this. And last piece of advice for today, if you are really struggling mentally with your weight and how you feel, highly, highly, highly recommend going to see a professional and talking to someone about it and getting in. What I will do is, my wife has just recently done her life coaching qualifications, and she's been reading a lot into the mental aspects of weight, losing weight, gaining weight, and I'll probably get her on the podcast and she can talk in depth about that stuff. And she follows some amazing, amazing people and listens to some really good podcasts on these kind of things, which these kind of people in this area, my wife will be able to help you guys a lot more with this, the mental aspect of it. So I'll definitely get her on at some point, and we'll go into all that maybe after we have the baby in a few months. All right, guys, that's it. That was a long one. I hope you got a lot from this. If you have any other questions you want to shoot me, please do at any time. I'm happy to answer them. Talk to me in the studio, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever it is you want. And we'll catch up soon. Thanks, guys.